Every day, you walk under hundreds of streetlights without a second thought. But what if I told you those lights aren't just lighting your path? They're listening, sensing, and learning. Across cities, people are discovering that modern streetlights are packed with hidden tech, acoustic sensors, thermal detectors, motion analytics, all quietly collecting data as you pass by. In this video, you'll hear from residents, engineers, privacy experts, and city workers as they share what they've uncovered about the smart streetlights above our heads. This is the story of how a simple glow became a silent network, one that some fear could be misused in ways we're only beginning to understand.
Power crews have been working to repair and replace streetlights in and around Metro Atlanta.
The sensors can record outdoor temperature, capture pedestrian and vehicle movement, and record audio and video.
Drone 2 flew over the Thomasville Heights neighborhood.
So the device attaches very nicely to the light, and it blends in quite nicely. And it's got two cameras, 2 audio sensors, edge processing capabilities, which is really great and allows you to do a lot more than just kind of sending full video files back. And supports multiple connectivity options, like cellular is what we're leveraging today, but it can also support fiber and Bluetooth as well.
Officials held a news conference Wednesday night to discuss the progress they've made with the Light Up the Night program and where they plan to go next. 2024 marks year 3 of the ongoing initiative and the latest efforts in the old Adamsville neighborhood.
In the next year, we're going to increase that by 20,000 more lights, lighting up the night.
Is that the people monitoring the cameras have the ability to move those cameras 360 degrees. They can zoom in and out on whatever's happening in the area of the camera. We have highly trained civilian personnel. Not only are they monitoring radio traffic, they have the ability to communicate directly with the officers on the street, and they're also proactively monitoring, looking for criminal activity. For example, there was a monitor that observed animal abuse, and they were able to call that out, and the suspect was apprehended at a short distance from where the observation was made.
We also have camera programs that allow that where we own and operate cameras.
For you to also watch, there's this little alt sensor that's actually a radar picking up the through lane traffic. And if they come across these dilemma zones speeding and going a little too fast, it extends the time of that light to make sure that they can clear out without getting rear-ended. It's pretty awesome.
You ever seen one of these on a streetlight? It's watching your license plate and storing it in a police database. They're called ALPRs, Automatic License Plate Readers. They're mounted on street poles, patrol cars, even school zones. Every plate that's scanned is logged. You don't get notified and you didn't consent. And the data? Stored for months, sometimes years. In some cities, cops can pull up everywhere your car has been. Who you visited, what time you visited, even how often. This isn't traffic enforcement, it's silent tracking. Your daily life is being mapped and you're paying for it with your tax dollars. Still think you're not on a list? Your car is, guaranteed, and the list gets longer every day.
Hi everybody. Right, well, as you'll see, this is the equipment that's been fitted by councils across the country. This is shared as we've had a whistleblower sent us the information, and obviously we've got a box delivered by a whistleblower at one of the councils, all right? Because obviously the people are very concerned in the lighting departments about what this equipment is, and I've been asked to actually review it. Because this is a weapon system, all right? It's nothing more than a weapon. Now, I know it's masquerading as a light, but it's a weapon, all right? So let's just show you. Let's just break this whole thing down and show people what this is, all right? I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to take this piece, this antenna piece to pieces. All right, people have seen it before. They've seen the breakdown. All right, let's just unloosen this piece here. All right, let's just break this down and let's show people what this is. All right, this is the Harvard piece of technology. Obviously, that's the antenna. That's a scanner, it's radar. It's a radar piece of equipment. You can see that. This has got the 450 volt capacitor on it. And you see the cabling. It's really important to see that cabling. This is the delivery system, all right? This is an extremely dangerous piece of hardware. This is a single element, and they're 31,875. A lot of people making complaints to the council now, and making complaints where they're being lied to on a regular basis about this technology. So the councils are lying about what this is. Let's just show people this is not a dipole antenna. Look, it's a high gain dielectric lens antenna. All right, it's in a little bit better shape than the other one that we've shown the video on, but that is an illegal piece of equipment. It's not a Part 15 FCC approved piece of equipment. This can target acquire. It's radar. That's a scanner. All right, it's a scanning antenna. They are illegal. Anybody thinks that councils have the right to scan into your home are mistaken. That's an offence in law. All right, let's just pop that back, because people have seen that breakdown before, and they've also seen this breakdown before. What's really important is to have a look at this bit of hardware. Now, this box is actually being made so you can't get into it. All right, it's a sealed unit which just had to be taken to pieces. Obviously, we've got to be careful with this because it's got to get sent back, because it's got to go back in the stores. What I'm going to show people, this is the hardware. This is the delivery system. This is coming from these units here. This is the delivery system to the weapon. All right, that's the delivery system to the weapon. This is the cabling, because I've had a couple of foolish people, absolute ignorance. That's the cabling to the LED streetlights. As you'll see, they're very thin. They're thin because they don't carry a great deal of power, and they won't burn out. However, this piece of cabling is pretty powerful stuff, and it has to be, because you've got a 450 volt capacitor in this bit, but you've also got a number of 450 volt capacitors on the board. These are not for the LEDs. This is the LED delivery system here. All right, there's transformers on here to reduce the power going to these small cables which fit into this for the LEDs. All right, you do not need this type of capacity. Only a fool, only a very, very ignorant fool would even pretend that this is some type of ballast. All right, these are LEDs for the ignorant. This isn't a fluorescent lamp needing ballast to put a lot of energy in. We all know that LEDs operate on very, very small amounts of energy, so they do not need. So this is a step down to these small cables. However, this is a step up to this delivery system, because obviously if you're going to use a weapon, it needs to have a bit of poke, it needs to have a bit of power about it. All right, so that fits to there. This then goes to this, and obviously that's the 450 volt capacitor. All right, you've seen it in the close-up breakdowns before, and this is the weapons delivery system. All right, that's the high gain antenna, illegal high gain antenna. Number of people have contacted Northumbria police about the genocide that's been committed on the people in Gateshead as we speak. Lots of people. So we'll be progressing that, because I was called by Northumbria police about this, and obviously I'm still waiting for a senior investigating officer to contact me about this weaponry and how outrageous this is, that a council can fit an unregulated, untested, illegal piece of equipment on a bit of street lighting. You've got to remember, Schrader have their own controller. It's not Harvard. They've got a totally different controller to that. It was called Owlet. It's not this. This is a weapon system. That's the difference. It's not for controlling the lights, and that's why the lights are on all the time. But here's the other part of a weapon. I'm going to show you in here. These are bare elements. These are focused lenses. All right, The focus lenses, see the small cables? Don't need a lot of power. Not like the delivery system for the weapon, right? For the antenna. It's a weapon. These are very small cables because these do not need a lot of power. They don't need anything near 450 volts or a 3,300 watt relay. Anybody that says that is either a liar, a fool, or just indoctrinated to the point where really they're pretty useless. These are bare elements. There is no protection. There's no diffuser. These are illegal. These are a category 2 optical radiation emission system. They're lenses. So what they do, that creates a focus point. These are basically lasers. So that bank of lasers there, in the 450, 460 nanometers, these are phosphor coated, and that phosphor wears off over time. So these become more toxic. They become more toxic and they will kill. They'll blind people. They cause retinal cell stress, retina cell death, and they will blind an awful lot of people if they don't wear protective eyewear. All right. So this is the equipment. This is a blatant weapons program. It is not a street light. These are not incandescent lights. These are part of a weapons program. Make no mistake about it. And we can prove it. Fortunately, we have the evidence now. The actual undisputed evidence of this equipment being here to do harm to the citizen and not, as we've been told, to like. That's why the lights are rubbish. That's why everybody doesn't like them. That's why they're putting them up on motorways. These are part of the smart city agenda. This is a radar scanner. So when it sees you coming, it can actually increase or reduce the pulse rate. That pulse rate modulation, called flicker modulation, can be weaponized. It can be strobed and it can be weaponized at any particular time through this equipment. Now, they're now replacing it for something that's not as blatantly a weapon. All right, they're replacing it now with some other piece of equipment at a multi-million-pound deployment equipment that's just not as obviously a weapon as this is, and that's the reason for the cover-up. So this is evidence for the courts to show that Gateshead Council and others are trying to commit genocide on the people. I'm still waiting for Northumbria Police's senior investigating officers to come and see me so I can avail them of all the information in relation to the assault and the harm that this is going to be caused to the people. This is unbelievable. This is uninsurable technology, right? Councils have a duty of care to the people. This is untested, unproven, experimental in breach of the Nuremberg Code. This is absolutely outrageous how this has actually ended up happening. And what we must do, people have to get involved, wake others up. This is not what you're being told it is, or what the people who are fitted have been told. Because not only have they been misinformed, everybody else has. And the no risk document that was sent out by Gateshead Council that basically says this is no risk. All optical radiation's a risk. That's just as a matter of fact. This just shows how ignorant and how much of a cover-up and a conspiracy to cover up their outrageous deployment of this unproven, untested, unregulated, in breach of Nuremberg technology. A true crime against humanity.
Every time I go by this light, it turns off, so I'm videotaping it because, oh my, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Okay, so I've been learning a lot about telekinesis and just like, obviously I know a lot about energy because I've been learning about it for a couple of years now, but it's been a thing where I'll go by lampposts and they turn off. My girlfriend and I went by a lamppost the other night and it turned off. And I thought, okay, well, maybe it's a coincidence. So I just, I taped me going under another light post and it turned off. And I'm going to see if it does it again. Okay, so it just turned off while I was going to it. I'm going to cross the street because I'm getting kind of an eerie feeling. but I have a feeling that once I cross the street, since my attention and my energy is like at this lamppost right now, I have a feeling that it's gonna turn on. So, yep. What the fuck? Oh my god, 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 oh my god. What the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna go over. I feel like the vibes are good now. I just didn't know if anybody was in that car, so I didn't know if it was just my spirit guides telling me to just chill. Yeah, every time I have my energy towards this lamppost, it'll turn on and off. So it's pretty crazy town. Okay, I'm gonna leave now. Oh, great. Awesome. Okay, bye. Okay, so now that I'm leaving it, I feel like it's gonna turn back on. Hey, bye. You can turn on now. I'm leaving. You can turn on. Okay, now you're being temperamental. I feel you. Oh, there you are. Okay, I'm gonna go. Energy is real. And for those of you that are tapped in and have just been working on yourself and your healing, maybe go and try that out. Cause I'm like actually a little shook right now. I'm not even just a little bit shook. I am very shook right now. Cause that is the most times it's happened in one setting. But I'm gonna go and have a great night. Love you. Bye. For any skeptics, this happened within minutes, so no timer.
Black folks, do y'all know why that in our communities we have street lights that look a certain way? They look dim, or they orange, or they look like they're about to go out. Do y'all know why? See, we tend to have the orange glow, that harsh white light, and all that wasn't about visibility. It was about control, surveillance, and racism. So let me break it down. See, during the 1900s, white neighborhoods was given soft, white, incandescent lighting. Why? Because white residents complained about the aesthetics and the comfort and the neighborhood's character. Black neighborhoods, they got high pressure sodium lights. Y'all know those big old ugly lights over there with dim lighting and about to go out. Why? Because city planners and police departments classified black neighborhoods as high crime, high disorder, and high risk, y'all. So the lighting wasn't designed for the residents in the communities. It was designed for policing black neighborhoods. The orange sodium lights, they're cheaper, they're harsher, and they would distort our skin tones under those lights. Our faces are harder to identify and our skin tones will be flattened. And people look more suspicious on camera with those type of tones. And that wasn't accidental. It made black people easier to surveil and harder to humanize. Then came the language, y'all, with the city planners and the urban developers. The urban planners openly wrote that bright, harsh lighting would deter loitering, discourage gatherings, and reduce undesirable behavior and people. Who y'all think the undesirable people are? What they really mean is it would stop black people from existing comfortably in public spaces. Y'all know how black folks like to gather in the summertime, go to the park and ride around and just hang out. Meanwhile, y'all, in white suburbs, they fought against those same lights because they were too harsh, too prison-like, and lowered the property value of their homes. And guess what? The cities and the planners and stuff, they listen. So in white neighborhoods, y'all check it out. Go check it out today. White neighborhoods, trees line the areas. They have the nice looking lightings and stuff. It makes it more welcoming. Black neighborhoods, we got flood lighting, no trees, over emulation, and constant police visibility. This is why many black neighborhoods, y'all, feel exposed and watched and over policed and uncomfortable at nighttime. And it's not paranoia, y'all, it's by design. And when LED lights replace those sodium lights, cities promise equity. But what really happened is white neighborhoods got the soft warm LEDs. Black neighborhoods got blue-white retina burning LED lights that increase stress, disrupt sleep, raise cortisol, trigger headaches, and mimic prison yards and stadiums. Again, that was not accidental. This is called hostile architecture and racialized urban planning. See, your neighborhood lighting wasn't chosen for safety, it was chosen for control. Now, Black folks, I want y'all to understand this, and go check it out. Even the lights above your very head was designed and based on racism. Everything around you. I'm Dr. O, y'all, and I'm out.
Over here on my right is what a normal light should look like, right? That's the kind of lighting. But across Phoenix, we are seeing this instead, more purple lights showing up. We're told about 1,200 of these lights started popping up a couple of months ago in the city. That's out of about 100,000 total lights in Phoenix.
You may have seen them lately on your evening commute. Street lights across the state that are glowing blue. Now, the Iowa DOT says it's an issue they are aware of.
That's right, Patrick. When they were first installed over a year ago, they were a normal white color. Now, as you can see here behind me, they've changed to a purple blue color. The lights really are different colors. Some white, some a purple, even blue hue. 16 months ago, they gave off the normal white light, but within a year, their true colors started shining through.
Purple street lights that are still illuminating some roads right here in the Triad. These purple street lamps have seen the light of day or night on many roads in the Carolinas, from Kernersville to Greensboro, Burlington, and beyond.
If you live near one of these, you're probably going to need to start wearing sunblock at night. The purple streetlight manufacturing defect that began as early as 2017 and has been seen across the country is due to a single corporation's manufacturing defect where the phosphorus that coats the bulbs of bright blue diodes has completely fallen off. As you see, LED lights do emit some radiation, but only if they're this ultra bright blue diode. But hey, that's totally okay because the phosphorus coating protects you from UV radiation. I mean, if you weren't protected, you might get skin damage, eye damage, cancer, and it might worsen your chronic illnesses. Scientific America also wrote an entire article on why it causes bad driving. But hey, blue diodes with the phosphorus coating are much cheaper and more durable to make. They last so long and perform so well that the manufacturer of this malfunctioning bulb still in use owns 25% of the market share of US industrial lighting. But despite knowing that these blue LED lights do emit radiation in small amounts, they are still considered safe because of the phosphorus coating and have not been recalled. So if you live under a purple street light, you wish to avoid ultraviolet radiation because you have an autoimmune disease, a chronic fatigue syndrome, or you just have skin or eyes, then you have two options. Number one, call your city and ask those lights be changed and replaced by the manufacturer, or just,
So I wanted to show you the blue lights that we have here in my town in Iowa. They like to put the blue lights on the off and on ramps to the interstate. That's where I find a majority of these blue lights. As you can see here, what normal lights look like. And then all of a sudden, wow, look at the black light. Wow, look at how it lights up the ground. Purple. Wow, look at that. Wow.
All right, this is for my gate crew, the empaths, and everyone else who is energetically sensitive. Have you ever noticed streetlights going out when you walk by? Phones glitch around you, watches stop, batteries drain. If so, you might be highly conductive, but have you considered that the same energetic interference that affects electronics also affects people? Before we dive in, tap like, drop a comment if this sounds familiar, and follow me on YouTube for deeper dives into gait, human energy, and consciousness. So, your body runs on voltage. Every heartbeat, every nerve signal, every thought is an electrical event. Around that circuitry exists a measurable electromagnetic field, your biofield. Sensitive instruments can detect its changes up to several feet from your skin. If your field can disrupt a radio signal, imagine what it might do to a nervous system. That might be why some individuals feel calm in your presence while others get jittery or emotional without knowing why. When two oscillating systems interact, the stronger or more coherent one can shift the weaker toward its rhythm. That's called entrainment. Some people are steady emitters, like a candle's glow, but others pulse, like a Tesla coil. Radiant, disruptive, magnetic, highly conductive people tend to have nervous systems that run hot. Intense emotion, deep focus, or expanded states can amplify their field. That same current that makes a device glitch might also stir up the emotional atmosphere of a group or individual. It doesn't mean you're causing it or doing anything wrong. It simply means that your field registers. When your signal enters a space, other fields respond, tuning and adjusting in ways most people just don't really notice or aren't aware of. So that same energy that stops your watch can ripple through a conversation, a crowd, or even an ecosystem. Becoming aware of this isn't about control or correction, it's about curiosity. So observe how your presence interacts with the world. You might start to notice subtler patterns, strangers feeling drawn to tell you their secrets, a pet mirroring your mood, the air itself feeling denser or lighter as you enter the room. Awareness turns the mysterious into meaningful, and it helps you understand your own frequency. So if you've ever glitched a phone, interfered with a radio signal, or felt others change around you and not really understood why, share it below. I would love to hear your stories.
That Charlie's adrenal glands were just going off. He couldn't sleep. I know enough about Charlie to know what that means. That means that Charlie was being bothered. He was probably having visions like he was in 2018. Probably a clearer vision than the one that I had that you guys tried to mock. That danger was coming. And I'm going to go ahead and say that it wasn't about a Jezebel article written by some leftist. Please stop saying that because it's not true. I know Charlie, a leftist article didn't upset him in this way. Didn't make him call a priest to pray over him. He thought someone was going to kill him. He did. He expressed that in writing. And you did not lose those text messages. You knew that. But Charlie and I spoke a lot about his third eye. That's why that sentence caught my attention in the article. He spoke about the street lamps that would go off when he would run, about the special school that he had to go to. He spoke about a lot of the things that were strange in our childhood, the testing that both of us had to endure. We spoke about the fact that we could both astral project. You know all of this, of course. You have his phone. And how surprised we were when we learned that not everybody does that naturally. Sleep paralysis, you name it. We had conversations about it. It's also because you have his phone. And when I revealed to the public that he had predicted his own death in remarkable detail, maybe you went back and you read the rest of those messages, the ones that I haven't yet revealed to the public, because in retrospect, those messages they're pretty terrifying because they're precise and it feels prophetic.
The streetlights above us were designed to brighten our nights. But the stories you've heard today show they're doing far more than most people ever realized. From sensors to data networks, the glow we trust has become part of a system that keeps us boxed in. We're digging deeper into the hidden technologies shaping everyday life, and there's a lot more coming. Stay curious, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next one. If this video made you look at your city a little differently, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.